President's University. For over 70 years, this long-established institution has stood in the quiet town of Adamant Falls, a village almost 90 miles north of the hustle and bustle of New York City. Known for its liberal arts program, President's University has grown into an established institution of research and hallowed halls of knowledge. The school of choice for some of America's top authors, singers, and actors, President's University has become a cornerstone of artistic culture in the United States. Founded in the early days of the 1920s, President's University was the dream of industrialist Theodore Tyler. A near century later, however, President's University has become not only an institution for the up-and-coming celebrities of tomorrow, but the place for rich New York business magnates to send their upper-crust children to learn the ways of being true blue bloods.
President's University is one of a kind. We boast one of the finest arts and humanities programs and departments in the country. We offer cross-cultural programs where theory informs practical experience. And although this combination isn't sui generis to our own particular program and curriculum, we do believe it is of paramount importance in today's highly competitive global marketplace.
Artistic talent alone, however, is not the only thing to which President's University can lay claim. Ironically, given the small size of the school, it boasts one of the largest residences in the northeastern U.S., Kennedy Hall, or the Kingdom, as it is affectionately called by the residents. It houses nearly 800 students on a yearly basis. From September to May, the Kingdom is the hub of campus life, as soon as class has been dismissed until well into the wee hours of the night.
Well, living in the Kingdom is definitely a privilege. And of course, the building has a kind of reputation, but really the best thing about it is that we try to build a community for everybody who comes to live here. Now, some people tend to reject our community values, but, you know, we just try and cope with that and deal with that. And otherwise, it's the best place to live here at President's.
But it was a rejected community when 2 years ago Molly Morris and Patrick Malcolm began an affair that would soon shatter the pure as driven snow image of President's University. And it would all end with a cold and bloody murder. Molly Morris grew up on a small farm in Iowa. Born to Martha and Tom Morris, Molly, from an early age, found her talents lay within music and theater. Much to her father's disappointment, she had no interest in raising potatoes. Piano, violin, and even singing were all part of her early and everyday life.
Molly was so gifted musically. She sang for as long as I can remember. And on her 5th birthday, she was dancing around all over the place. She and her little sister even put on a show for us. She was so gifted.
When I first came to President's, I was really nervous about having a roommate, but when I met Molly, all of that went away. She was so nice, she was so friendly, and we had a lot of good laughs together.
Molly worked so hard to get into President's University. At first it was really hard for Tom and me to get used to the idea of her going to such an elite school because we're just farmers, we're not the richest people in the world. But she worked so hard for her marks, and she won scholarships, and she really wanted to go. It was really hard for us to let her go at first, but then we saw how good it was for her self-esteem, and it made her so happy.
I definitely respected Molly. She was proud of where she came from, she was proud of her family, and though President's is kind of a yuppie school, she never let anyone get to her, and I really respected her for that.
The day we moved Molly into Kennedy Hall, it was one of the hardest days of my life, yet it was one of the most exciting. She was so excited. She was so proud of herself for having earned herself a spot in such an exclusive school. And because of all that excitement that she had, it didn't take long for that to rub off on us. We were so excited for her, yet it was hard to let her go. But you know, her smile was so bright that day, it could light up the sky.
Molly's contagious good feelings, however, were not meant to last, and disappeared just as quickly as pizza in a frat house at 3 in the morning.
Molly and I had been roommates for about a month, and it was the beginning of October. She came home from the homecoming game, and she started telling me all about this guy she had met, and she was so excited. It seemed kind of weird. She didn't seem like the type of girl to be swept off her feet like that, and she was so serious right away.
Normal or not, Molly's relationship with a new, mysterious boy moved fast, and within a week, they were officially seeing each other, something not lost on Molly's friends and family.
Molly called me after her second date and couldn't stop talking about this new boy in her life. That was really surprising because she was always so focused on her schoolwork that to have fallen into such a relationship so quickly was so out of character for her.
Realistically, it's not surprising that Molly became involved so quickly, given that her new boyfriend was Patrick Malcolm. Malcolm, the son of one of New York's most prestigious litigators, had become a minor celebrity in his own right. His short film, Overdue Days, had earned several film festival awards and become the newest piece of pretentious gossip on campus.
At first, Patrick seemed okay. He was your typical president's guy, arrogant, full of himself. He knew where he came from. But then I just got this creepy feeling from him. We were left alone once, and just the way he talked to me and the way he looked at me, I got the creeps. I don't know how to explain it any better than that.
Besides causing uneasy feelings in the women in his life, Patrick was a well-behaved young man. In fact, Patrick had the perfect upper crust requirements sought by the admissions officers at President's University. Apparently, he had what Molly Morris was looking for as well. After meeting at that fateful homecoming game, their relationship skyrocketed into the stratosphere like a probe headed for Mars.
He quickly became a fixture here. If he wasn't over, he was on the phone with her, and he liked to know where she was all the time. He staged the perfect seduction. He sent her flowers, he sent her jewelry, he sent her chocolates, and she loved the attention. Although it seemed kind of weird, one time we went out to the bar, and his friends started making fun of her, where she came from, her background, and he didn't really defend her. In fact, he actually joined in, which I thought was so wrong.
For a while, Molly was content to let Patrick verbally abuse her and then present her with a bouquet of flowers or a costly necklace, despite the warnings of her roommate. She couldn't fathom that perhaps Patrick was not the Prince Charming he had made himself out to be. Molly found out all right, but it was too late. While spending the weekend at Malcolm's country home the last week of October, Molly finally realized the truth. Sometime between the hay rides and hot apple cider, Molly Morris lost her life at the hands of a cold-blooded killer.